Metaphor Refantazio is the next big JRPG franchise from the same developers of Persona and SMT. Metaphor Refantazio takes each of these franchises' best elements and seamlessly blends them into one. Social links will have even more meaning than in Persona, as they're essential to unlocking new archetypes and winning over allies to stake your claim at the throne. We'll be revisiting what archetypes are later, but for now, let's start with the story. A kingdom is thrown into chaos after the king is assassinated and a royal magic is triggered. This royal magic triggers an election that allows anyone of any social status to become the next king by gaining the people's support. This turns the kingdom into a royal tournament for the throne that anyone is welcome to stake their claim at. The main protagonist is from an inferior tribe, but despite his social status, he begins looking for a way to break the curse on the prince that the kingdom is believed to be dead. While doing that, the main protagonist learns that he needs to win this tournament, and thus that sets you guys on your quest to gain favor and make your claim at the throne. They've put a lot of effort into making every interaction within the city mean something, and doing side quests or taking bounties, all are gonna affect your popularity within this race. This is just a quick spoilerless preview of what you can expect with the story of Metaphor Refantazio. I expect there to be twists and turns to stop this from being the cookie cutter, hey, look at me, I'm the king type of story that we get with these JRPGs. And based on their previous experience with Persona and SMT, I know that's exactly what we're in store for. To open up this gameplay section, we're going to start with parties. Each party is going to consist of 4 characters who are customizable by a job system. The power of these jobs are going to be categorized or called archetypes. By confronting their anxiety, party members are able to acquire these special powers, and needless to say, I would have no archetypes if I was placed in Metaphor Refantazio, but me aside, there's going to be several archetypes for you to choose from, but the current ones that we've seen so far are Mage, Warrior, Seeker, Healer, Brawler, and Thief. While battling, party members will be able to transform into their equipped archetype and have the ability to use their skills. Each archetype will have a mastery tree and can be equipped to any party member, so this is going to allow for parties to be highly customizable based on whatever your strategy is. You're also not going to be limited to equipping an archetype with only one party member. So if you choose, every party member can equip the Brawler archetype, for example, and so you can have 4 party members of just straight brawlers and go at it if that goes with your desired game plan. They've hinted at there being more to archetypes, but as of now, this is all we have. Before we continue with combat though, I really would appreciate it if you help me get this video to 100 likes and subscribe to the channel for more JRPG content like this. But now that you've gotten that taken care of, let's continue into combat. In Metaphor Refantazio, combat is going to be primarily turn-based for difficult mobs, but they've also included a unique action-based combat system for clearing weaker mobs. This is meant to improve the enjoyment by allowing you to skip battles you know you're already gonna win. We know that in other JRPGs, it just gets annoying when you're trying to travel throughout the world and you keep triggering combat and fighting trash mobs, and it makes the game feel so much slower because you have to go into the animations of starting combat, finish it, and then go into the animations of getting your XP and clearing it. This looks to just wipe that whole process out and make clearing dungeons or performing actual high-level gameplay much faster. Your fairy companion will be able to survey the battlefield and tell you who can and can't be defeated by action-based combat. If they're a weaker enemy and they can be defeated, they're gonna glow blue. There is a weakness system and other standard things you see in JRPGs such as mana, HP, potions, all that yada yada yada. So we're not gonna go over that in this video. These are gonna be the options at your disposal. It looks similar to their other games when it comes to combat offerings that you can do within the turn-based combat, but they intentionally didn't go over this team up sequence, so there may be more with that. But kind of the vibe that I'm getting from the archetypes are there's going to be kind of like the Persona element of Metaphor Refantazio, except for unlike in Persona 5 where only Joker can switch between different personas, everyone in your party is going to be able to equip a different archetype, and you're not going to be able to just shuffle through them within battle. Likely you're going to be locked to one archetype within battle, but once you get outside of battle, you can equip other archetypes to customize your party. That's just the kind of vibe that I'm getting from it, but still is more to be confirmed. They stated there are going to be several different archetypes, and so who knows if we're going to get 100 plus archetypes or if it's going to be around that 50 number. But regardless, however many we get, as long as it's more than 15, it's going to allow for an extremely diverse party for you to build up is going to be unique to you and your specific playstyle, which is going to differentiate your playthrough from my playthrough, because I might like to go with more of like a mage build and you might necessarily want to go for like a brawler build. You get what I'm saying? The devs have stated though that there will be more dungeons in Metaphor Refantazio than any of their previous titles. You'll be able to tackle main dungeons as part of the main story and optional dungeons that are going to be part of side quests or things that you can do if you choose. So we've hit the story, we've hit the gameplay. Those are things that are going to be standard for all games, but let's get into what makes Metaphor Refantazio unique. And I feel like we could have included the archetype in the job system here, but I feel like that made sense to include with combat and gameplay, so that way you guys can understand how the battles are working differently than other JRPGs. But to start with the unique features, we're going to go into the date system. Similar to Persona 5, Metaphor Refantazio will revolve around a date and time system. You're free to use your time however you please, but mainline objectives will give you a deadline to complete it by. For example, you can be given, 20 days to complete X main story quest, and you can use the other days however you please, but by day 20 you need to be finished. Side story quests will have no deadline, but you will have to factor in travel time. There is an auto travel mechanic within towns, but if you're looking to travel between cities, you're gonna have to ride on your Gauntlet Runner. The Gauntlet Runner is your mobile base, but instead of having instant travel between cities, you're actually gonna have travel time such as 3 days and 2 nights to get from this destination to that destination. You can use this travel time to build your social link with companions or activities to increase your stats. Think of things that you would do during your free day in Persona 5, such as going on dates, watching a movie, or working out. The next unique feature we've already discussed a little bit, and that's going to be social links, but they're known as the follower system in Metaphor Refantazio, and this is going to allow you to bond with the followers you've gained during your journey. Improving these bonds will be essential because they're going to unlock new archetypes for you to use and for you to customize your party with. As I mentioned earlier, there is a date system limiting you from interacting with every follower you gain, so it's going to be up to you to determine who you're going to prioritize. Everyone knows that the artistic direction and the music has always been where Atlus shines at the most. With their Persona franchise, chances are, even if you've never played Persona 5, you've heard the music and you know this is Persona music because of how much it's used on YouTube. For music, they've tasked the composer from the Persona 3 to 5 franchise, and I believe he also worked on SMT, to create an all-new sound to fit the world of Metaphor Refantazio. But here's a taste of what you can expect in Metaphor. Needless to say, at this point, we can just always expect this of Atlus, but they did an amazing job with the design of the menus and how well they flow into one another. They said that this was a specific point that they wanted to spend a lot of effort focusing on because of how much time you spend on these menus in a JRPG. Just to give a quick TLDR, Metaphor Refantazio is the next big JRPG franchise from the same developers of Persona and SMT. Metaphor Refantazio takes each franchise's best elements and seamlessly blends them into one game. The game uses archetypes similar to Personas to make a class system to provide a unique gameplay experience for each playthrough. These archetypes can be acquired through the social link system as you deepen the relationship with your followers. After the king's assassination and the royal magic has been triggered, the election process has begun, and building your followers is going to be an essential part for you taking your claim at the throne. Metaphor Refantazio will be releasing October 11th, so we're still a ways away. They may have more up their sleeve to reveal later, but for now, this is everything we know. If you're looking for some JRPGs while you wait, I'll have a video right here going over the best action-based JRPGs you can find in 2024. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.